Hello everybody and welcome to a video. Today, I don't know, I just wanted to show off how to remove the legs for G.I.Joe Classified or any other Hasbro sort of figure line. The main reason I wanted to do this is because I wanted to swap her legs out with these other ones, which are much more darker, and it should overall just give her a more cartoon sort of accurate color scheme, and it overall gives more color to just the flat green that she has all over her body. So I have some hot water here ready, and we're just gonna dip her in there for a good while. And I'm going to dip her, which is a spare Lady J I have just because her arm broke off. Yeah, the plastic just sort of, I don't know what happened there, but so yeah, I have the extra parts, so I thought I might as well switch them out. And so yeah, I'll cut back when the plastic smoothens out. Alright, so here we have them. They should be smoothed out. You see how elastic that sort of waist piece becomes, and all you have to do is fight with it, and there you go. You should be able to remove it slowly, and you shouldn't worry about it, you know, sort of ripping apart. But there it is. There's a waist piece, and this will come in useful actually for another section I want to show off in this video. But then with the legs, very easy. They just pop out, as you can see. And then we'll move on to getting rid of the waist piece, which it didn't really fully submerge up to this piece, but it's still somewhat flexible. And let's see if I can take it off. Maybe I'll have to dunk it into the water again, but it's coming off just fine. And there that goes. Now for the next thing I wanted to demonstrate or show, I guess I'll make a quick cut, dry off all this water I dropped here, and I'll explain further. So right now I am dunking the upper torso that I want in water, and hopefully it's soft enough. There it goes. We remove to the lower part of the legs, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted this. And I was initially going to completely separate these two pieces here and just remove the ball joints here, because that is something you can do. But yeah, I just figured it'd be easier to just completely take it off the torso and not do the extra work, and then just pop this one into the darker green, just to make this part match with the darker pants. So there that is. But the reason I was doing that other extra stuff was because of the stressed joint here. As you can probably see, it has some stress. It's not too bad. It was just starting to show, but I guess I wanted to show how you could go about and removing the single joint and then replacing it with any spare Joe parts or bodies that you may have. I know I did that with an Alley Viper and it turned out pretty easy. So let me show you guys that. So here we have the Alley Viper that I did that whole change of pegs. As you can see, he now has his original orange peg on this leg and a white joint on this other one, and that is from a extra Storm Shadow I had. Yeah, because I thought, why not? The ball joint for that Storm Shadow was a bit smaller than the ones they come with, but it can still hold his pose. So that's all that matters to me, and he can stand now. I can show you guys the storm shadow that I did that with. These are his sort of skirt and pant pieces. I have no idea where I left the other um, joint, but as you can see, once you remove, you can split these things apart, and as you can see, the waist joint just sort of holds. Man, it's really tough in there. Well, anyway, you can see how there's a lower joint, or I guess peg here, and he has two other pegs up here and over here, and these sort of connectors here, and those slide into there, and these essentially just go around the waist joint there as such. But once you manage to take both halves apart, you can remove these hip joints, I guess you can call them, and you can just do that to another character you're trying to fix. It gets a bit messy. Storm Shadow was kind of easy because he didn't have a lot of, I guess, sort of glue at holding the two halves together, so it was kind of easy to tear that one apart. I don't think I want to deal with that with this one because it looks a bit more tighter, but it's a way to fix the ball joints if you have spare bodies or something like that. Or you can just use the entire lower piece and swap it out, as you saw, just by removing the upper torso and then just putting it back together. I did cut into this one, trying to split it in half. But yeah, I wasn't going to deal with all that. And if you do that and end up with like scratches and stuff, it doesn't really matter because the other piece will cover it. And yeah, I mean, thought I would throw this out there in case anybody wants to fix their ball joints. I know this Outback has some stress marks in there, as you can see, but it seems to be working fine now, just by putting some of this in there and then just moving it around, it smoothens it out. I know my barbecue also had some of that going on. Where is the stress? If I can only see, yeah, so it's on this leg. I don't know how well that's going to pick up, but yeah, you can see sort of the stress there. And so, it's always good to use this if you feel like the joints are too tight. I know Firefly, for some reason, yeah, it's on this leg over here. He started to show some stress marks on his leg, and it was super tight when I didn't really have that issue, and it still is kind of tight. But I think his is has progressed a bit worse, so I may have to change that out at some point. But we do have a new Firefly on the way, so I'm in no hurry to fix this guy, since he does just mostly stand there. And like I said, he's getting replaced by the new one they sort of announced. I've also had some yellowing on him, which I don't know if anybody else has experienced some yellowing on Firefly. He doesn't sit next to the window or anything, so it's kind of odd to me that he's yellowing. But yeah, let me get this Lady J all together and then see how it looks. Here we are heating up the legs just to, I already put the sort of crotch piece on there, and as you can see, it covers up mostly all of my wreckage that I was doing, trying to split the plastic piece inside But there we go, there should be enough heat, at least enough to pop them back in. My water isn't as hot anymore. But let's see how this goes. It should go in there. Maybe I need more heat, so I may need to get some more hot water. There it goes. Took a bit of effort, but there it goes. So I had to get some more hot water, but here we are, just adding the final things to her. Forgot to put the belt before putting the crotch piece, but there that goes. I heated it up to make it easier, and you see with more hot water, it's easier to pop on. So yeah, she's all put together, ready to fight. All right, and that's that. I've, switched out the legs, and there it is. I mean, I think it looks better having the two-tone sort of color. Maybe a lot of people won't dig it, but it just adds a bit more color other than just having either a plain dark green or a super light green throughout the body. And like I said, I wanted something more sort of cartoon color accurate. I do have the other crotch piece here in the water, so hopefully that allows me to... I can't grab it. Give me a sec. So as I was saying, I had it in the water, so hopefully that sort of helps weaken the adhesive that's holding everything together. Just because I still want to split this open and show you guys how all of this works. Alright, so for some reason, I don't know, Lady J's little crotch piece is extremely difficult to pull apart, but I essentially demonstrated it with the Storm Shadow, so you guys know how that works. Or hopefully, I hope you guys know how that works. But that is one way of removing just one of the pegs and swapping it out with another one. Again, this would have to require to remove not only the figure that you want to fix, but having a spare figure where you can also, which you're willing to sacrifice and do all of this sort of damage to the crotch piece. Like I said, once you do that, just super glue it together. Be sure not to make it, make sure super glue doesn't go into the joints and whatnot. And once you assemble it all, just make sure to move the joints all around. And yeah, so like I said, the crotch piece is separate from this, so it will cover up whatever mess you've created down there. Or you can just do the easy route and swap out the entire piece here by disassembling at the waist, just popping out the upper torso from that piece, and it's easy as that. Anyway, thought I'd put out my opinion out there concerning swapping out legs or fixing those stress mark joints, or just switching it out eventually when the joint does end up breaking on you. But that will do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I mean, share, subscribe, and all that stuff, the usual. Share it to anybody who is trying to fix their figures. Those are two different methods that I found that tend to work. Just to be mindful, some figures will have more adhesive, or that sort of glue that keeps the two parts together. Because for the Storm Shadow, it was very easy to break apart. The Ugly Viper, I struggled a little bit more, but I got it eventually, and it was as easy as just swapping out these and just super gluing it back together. I think I used glue on this section here on both sides, and a little teeny bit on this little middle part, just so that it doesn't spill over into the joints. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.